Hey guys, welcome to the Gritty Podcast. I'm Brian Call. Today I'm going to talk about my initial Ascent backpack, why I like it, what's good about it, and hopefully you get something useful out of it. There are a lot of ways, a lot of packs out on the market. I think I've used every single top tier hunting backpack. And that's all I'm really comparing to because all the backpacks not in the hunting space really aren't built for what we do. We carry heavy loads, especially when we kill an animal. That's something that other backpackers don't need to do. They don't need to pack out, 100 pounds of meat, 120 pounds of meat or something, or heads or antlers, moose rack. They don't do that. And so their backpacks are built accordingly. What I need as a backcountry hunter is something that can accommodate my loads going in. 10 days of food. I got to bring in sometimes a pack raft. I got to bring in weapons, ammunition, optics. These things that a typical, backcountry hiker doesn't bring. So I want it to carry efficient on the way in. A lot of backpacker type packs could do that job up to 70 pounds. They'd be really comfortable, probably. But once you have to load it up with real heavy, hind quarter of an elk and pack that out, that's when those other packs, those non-hunting packs just fail. In the hunting space, I think that the initial Ascent pack is hands down the best heavy load carrying pack on the market. I've used them all. All of them have great qualities. I just think at this point, the initial Ascent is just designed to carry heavy. It just carries heavy better. And that might piss some people off to hear it, but I honestly feel like in a head-to-head contest, if everybody's being honest, they put on the packs, they loaded them up heavy, and they went on some trips. I think it's kind of undeniable how well this pack carries compared to the competition that's out there. All the packs take a little bit of work to get them fitted. I'd say the initial Ascent doesn't need a lot. Some other brands do. I really like the Stone Glacier pack. But I'll tell you, once you get it over 90, 100 pounds, it really shows its deficiencies. Also, the Stone, if I had to mount a moose rack to it, like I did when I was in Alaska with Brady Miller, we needed that moose rack mounted vertically, not horizontal, or you would not get through the bush. Before I get deeper into the podcast, I just want to tell you about Gritty Movie Night. It's coming up here in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. Come join us. It's going to be fun. Get your tickets at briancall.com/events. Go buy some tickets, get your friends, tell your friends about it. I appreciate all of that. I'd love to see as many people as we can get that theater booked. We want to do a bunch of these throughout the year before I release a movie on YouTube and digitally. I'd love to get together and just have a community event where everybody hangs out and has a good time. And we build a little hunting community around some of these fun films. And I don't really like going to the movies nowadays. There's not really a lot in the theater I want to go see. But I think that's where this is kind of cool because these hunting films are kind of my thing. And I hope they're yours too. And that you'll come out to the theater and see a movie that's our kind of movie, but on the big screen, and get popcorn, hang out with friends, the whole family, and also win some prizes, do a little Q&A, and just have a good time. So if you want to support that kind of event and you want to hang out with us, head over to briancall.com/events and get your tickets there. That rack, vertical on his back would not hold on the Stone. It's an internal frame, and when you strapped it on, it would just twist. And that's how most of the packs are in the way they're built in the hunting industry. That's where the initial Ascent's just different. And we could lash Brady's moose rack to the back, and then it would stay vertical, right in position like an external frame type pack, because it's kind of like an external frame pack. And then we could just motor through the bush, and he had to fight through some things, but it was doable. that's just another way in which this pack shines. Another way that it shines is it just carries heavy weight better. In general, it distributes it better. So one of the things with the other packs on the market, if you load the weight a little bit too much on the right-hand side than the left, you really feel that weight on the one side. You got to stop, pull that bag off, and then resituate it, put the pack back on, and hike some more. And I think one of the worst offenders with that is the Stone Glacier pack. As much as I like it, if it's not balanced left to right, you feel it. You feel it in your back and it burns. I swear to you, you can really offload. You can mismatch the weight distribution on the back of a initial ascent and you just don't feel it. The one side of your pack could be heavy. It just distributes it across the frame and your hip. I don't know how it does it exactly. It just does. And I can misload that left to right, throw the rifle on one side even, where it's a little too heavy and I don't have it offset with a heavy optic or tripod on the other side. And I could motor up a mountain and I kind of can't tell that it's cockeyed or a little heavier on one side than the other. This pack has allowed me to get away with that uneven weight distribution more than any other pack I've tried. The other thing, one of the reasons I think this pack carries well, the Stone, I like how the weight, the weight gets pushed up high on your back. So, it's pretty tall. It's above your head quite a bit. And then it kind of makes the weight go right over your hips, ankles, and downward. The straps are a little thin. The waist would stick, but it was a little bit, once it got above 100 pounds, 105, I mean, you could just feel every strap and waist buckle and stuff cut into your body. When I wear the initial Ascent, the weight just seems to go distributed everywhere evenly. It doesn't cut the circulation off going to my hands. My hands don't go numb like they used to. It doesn't cut any circulation off below the hip. There's a couple other packs on the market that, man, they either slid off my butt or if I did get them tight, they cut off circulation. It was like you got one or the other. Once the load got heavy, it was just a misery fest. And that's where the initial Ascent just beats that. On the bag, people ask me all the time, how big does the bag, what bag should I get? Dude, I am a 10-day or bust kind of backcountry hunter. I love to go for 10, maybe 14 days, and I want to carry it all in one trip because sometimes our trips are 15, 20 miles on foot into some rugged places. And I want to take everything out there, and once I get there, I want to spend all the days I can trying to find that unicorn, get it, and then I need to pack it out. So I want a pack that can accommodate a raft that's, so big, and I want a pack that can carry 10 days of food. Food can get bulky, it could take up space. I want a pack that I can get everything in. Stuff that's bulky, but not necessarily heavy. I want it to all fit. So the 8K is the only answer. I mean, I did the 7900 on the Stone. I used a few other packs that were real big. It's the only way to go at this point, in my opinion, if you're doing any kind of backcountry type hunting. Now, the argument I have is, just cinch it to so it's a little smaller. So it might be a little bit like this is the 8K. Let me show you this for those, sitting here watching. Here's the 8K right here, but cinched down. So it's cinched down on the sides right here. It's cinched down on the bottom, like so. I've got this cinched up, cinched on the sides, right? And the lid, it's really at the top of the frame. I mean, it's a little bit above the frame, but you could see this is about the size of a 6K. And it's not too baggy. There's not a whole bunch of extra material, And so I would rather get the 8K and just kind of cinch her down than I would get a 6K and then run out of space. you can see this bag's been through a lot, by the way. Anybody who knows me, all my friends, everybody who hunts with me knows I beat the crap out of stuff. I do. Doesn't matter what it is. Tripod, rifle, bow, beat the hell out of it. I'm not the most taking care of my stuff kind of guy. This one fell out of a truck going 80 miles an hour in Alberta down the highway. And the frame smashed right here. There's holes in the bag here and here. I'm always curious how much abuse this stuff can take. This bag took a hit, man. Oh, knife coming out of the hole here. And the top lid. It took a hit. And but it's got road salt all over it. But this bag, it's been durable as hell. I think all the top tier, hunting packs are very tough, very durable. So it doesn't, have any special place next to the other packs per se in that space. But get this, look at this. I'll show you the top lid comes back like here, and you can see this is the top of the 8K. Look how much room is up in there. And then if I undo the straps on the sides of this pack, it'll like pop out. If I undo the bottom, I mean, it becomes big. I mean, it can accommodate a lot more space. So that is something that I really, really love about this size bag. It can just accommodate everything. And then, if I don't need that much space, then fine. I just kind of cinch it down and get it how I like it. Now, just a little tip, when I am loading a pack and I'm getting it ready, I kind of know, do I need like a 6K for today? Do I need like a 4K? Do I need a 7K? Like, about how big of volume do I need for the activity I'm doing? And I'll cinch down these straps here, like on the bottom and the side, and I'll pre-cinch it before I ever put anything in it, because I don't want all the heavy stuff and everything just slid to the bottom. In fact, sometimes I'll cinch the bottom completely off. These two side buckles, I'll cinch those super tight, and I'll really almost seal off the bottom half of the pack. And then I'll just stack it from midway with my gear, my sleeping bag, and all that kind of stuff, and kind of let the volume be up here while I've closed off the bottom. And I put my lightest stuff in the bottom, and then I go a little bit heavier as I go. Heaviest kind of right around my shoulders and neck, top back of my head. And then I'll go a little bit lighter again as it gets higher above my head, and sort of put the heaviest weight stuff somewhere in here, lightest weight here, and then more lightweight above. So this is this 8K, highly recommended. I highly recommend you go bigger and you just cinch it down. That's how we roll. That's how I recommend it. Now, some things I like about the 8K as well. If you look at this, this hit the highway, so keep in mind it took a beating down the highway. Because some of these buckles are trashed. This right here, this bottom buckle, okay. A lot of pack manufacturers, they give you a buckle here and here, a top and a bottom, and on the side, and then they cinch it down. You got the strap across the front connected to this strap here, and it just it can really tighten your load down. The problem is you might put a rifle or a tripod or something in here, a spotter, okay, and it buckles to the side, and people will use these top and bottom straps. Well, what happens is the load shifts when you unbuckle those. As soon as you unbuckle that strap and that strap, the whole load that you just worked really hard to get situated where you want it just goes, balloons out, heavy stuff drops to the bottom, and now your load's not distributed well. It's riding too low. I don't want my load to shift. I don't know if I'm going to be like 5K level gear, but wherever it is, I want it up where I want it. And when I unstrap something from the side of my pack, like a rifle, I don't want my whole load to flop and fall to the bottom. And here, let me grab this tripod here that I got sitting in the background, and I'll kind of show you. So I got a tripod, let's say a spotter. Sometimes we leave the spotter attached to the tripod so we can just rip it out and look at an animal real quick if we need to. And, if you have it down here like this in the pocket and you have it strapped here and here, which is typical with a lot of packs, brands that are out there, you're getting this thing strapped down on the side like so. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. And all right, your tripod's on the side and you go to take it off, right? And your whole load just like falls where you don't want it. The thing that we did when we worked with the Joe and Dennis over at Initial Ascent is I was like, guys, I don't want my load to shift. I don't want it to move. I don't want to undo these straps once I have my pack how I want it. That's where we got this middle strap. Okay. And what I love about this strap too, on this middle portion, is it's connected to the frame. You can see it right here. It's connected to the frame right here. This triaxial carbon fiber frame. It's not connected to the material. Like a lot of companies will have a buckle on the bag itself, right? And this bag, this material, they'll buckle like this, and it's fine, but it flops around, especially if you have anything of weight, anything that is, substantial. And a lot of the bags don't have a frame like Initial Ascent does, so they couldn't do this if they wanted to. They, in fact, have the strap stitched to the actual material. And then when they put this in here, if they do have it attached to the material flops around. When this gets heavy, it's no good. I hate that. So here, I'm connected to the frame right here. And when I put this buckle across, this is what I wanted from Initial. This is exactly what I wanted. And I've added a locking buckle here. A locking buckle so that when you have a rifle or a heavy tripod or spotter or something on the side here, they inevitably seem to come loose, and they just like this and just sort of, they just come loose. And the next thing you know, your tripod or your rifle is like hanging off to the side and falling off your pack. Okay. I'm like, man, I hate that. So here I have a locking buckle. It's in the center. My top and bottom keep my buckles, keep my load where I want it. And this single buckle that's locking holds my rifle or my tripod or whatever I want on there. And when I undo this, it doesn't impact my load at all. It stays right where I want it. Load doesn't shift. Seems like a no-brainer to me, but a lot of the pack companies just don't account for that. Same thing on the other side. I've got those 3 buckles. I got the locking one in the center, and boom, I am golden. The other thing that this pack has is there's a slot right here, okay, in the frame, right in the middle section. And this little buckle, I love it. We had them add this slot because sometimes the loads get heavy, especially when they're all meat, okay? And you got like all this weight and it moves up high. Well, this sort of section, Stone does this a lot. It becomes like a big hot dog that sort of just like once you load it up, it just like the leaning tower just falls over sideways and it's cockeyed. We wanted a way to secure that. Well, that's where this strap comes in. Buckles here to the frame down here in the middle, and it comes in different lengths. And once this lid is full, and you can even use this buckle system here that goes across the top and buckles, but you cinch it down from this side buckle, and your top lid then goes on top of that, and this load is just so secure, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just kind of brilliant for that heavy load stuff. It's, all those bases are covered. So, I hope that makes sense. The The other thing that I like about the Initial Ascent bag is the top lid. I think that this is often overlooked, but the top lid is just usually, a lot of them aren't well made. If you tip them sideways with the lid open, everything falls out. If you lay them on the ground, that's annoying. You can't get into it because the lid is it's got a tiny, like 5-inch opening, and then inside it's just this bottomless bag. So I way prefer this style top lid. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this lid off the bag. Okay. And the way that I use this is I load this with everything that I kind of need in a pinch. That when I go to bed at night, I pull off the top lid, I toss it next to the head of my sleeping bag, and it's got everything I need in it for cooking, for eating, for building a fire, for brushing my teeth, my toiletries, going to the bathroom, like all that kind of stuff. It's all right here. My UV sterilizer for water, like kind of got it all right here in this top lid. When I'm elk hunting in the fall, for example, too, I want to be able to just take this lid, and I'll get to it in a minute, but I might want to just throw it on my back, and I have buckles, chest straps for this. Throw it on my back, on my shoulders, like so. And I put those chest straps on it, and it becomes like a little backpack. And it's got everything in it because I've already got sort of, basic stuff for in a pinch, like all my major things I need in case my inReach is in here, like fire starter, any of that kind of stuff, a little bit of food. And when I'm hunting like that, and I might use this as a getaway, like just stock it in on a mule deer or an elk, I'll put a water bladder right here. This is what this sleeve is for. Put like a little, a smaller version, I forget what size, but I got a couple of them. Water bladders. The hose can pop out right here. And now I have a little pack with a water bladder. As soon as I unbuckle it from my main pack, throw it on my shoulders, I have a little go bag, a little day pack, water, a little bit of snacks, a puffy, just some basic stuff just right here. And I can be super stealthy and get in where I need to be. I like how big this zipper is and how I can just rifle in here, get to the bottom of it, and find anything I need. It's not super deep, but it has a lot of room in it, shockingly. So that is great. I love the top lid design. It's just well done. And getting to the bag, okay, this is the best system, I think, for carrying heavy. There are many times where I'll give you an example. We're hiking in, it's 15 miles to our destination. We're 7-8 miles in, and we spot a bear up on a mountain, and we're like, oh dude, we got to go for that bear. We got to go. Well, in the past, I would have to empty my expedition. This is 10 days of gear, all loaded up in my bag. I'd have to dump it out, throw a tarp on it probably, and then go up after this bear that we saw. And then I have to come back later that day, and I have to repack everything and then go, just so I could have my bag with me in case I got something. Now, none of us need to do that. We take our Initial Ascent pack and we strip it down to just that day mode. And that works like this. It's brilliant. You undo these load lifters. They slip right out. Okay. Like so. You undo the side buckles. 1, 2, 3. Got 1, 2, 3 on this side. 2, 3. Okay. And the last thing to do is the buckles across the bottom. There's no bar tack, so they just slide out like that. Now, this is where it's brilliant. This bag just slips off of these ears right here, like so. And now my pack is now separated from the frame. I have my 8K bag, and I'll just set it on the ground, and I will I will throw maybe a tarp over it, maybe not. I'll just put my pack cover over it, and I will go. And what that looks like is I've got my pack here, my pack frame. My pack frame has my belt pouches. Usually it's got a water bottle. Got a water bottle pouch, got a water bottle, got a couple of pouches, things that I need that are on my hips. In the back here, okay, I'll undo this. And this is a load shelf right here. And you've seen it probably, some of you. And that's where you load your quarters and your meat and everything onto this right here. Well, when I'm not packing meat, this is a really great sort of day pack situation where I don't need this huge bag, for what I'm doing. I just need a little something. And so what I'll do is I'll take this pack and I'll break it down into just like your sort of day mode. Okay. And there's a little pocket right here where I can throw like a puffy and some food or whatever. Sometimes if I need a little more room, I'll take a stuff sack, a little tiny like sleeping bag size stuff sack that's like a Cedar Summit or something that's waterproof. OR, outdoor research, something. And it's like a little sleeping bag size. And I'll throw that in here into the bag, stuff that stuff back there, cinch it down. And then I'll use this outer pocket for just basic stuff. It's the lid cinches, or the bag cinches closed like that. And I am set for day use. When I throw my pack lid on, it looks like this. I love this design, by the way. This gets a little heavy, okay? Because I like to carry all my essentials in it, like that I need. If I don't want to think about when I leave my pack or ditch this frame or anything like that. I don't want to think about, did I forget something important? It's either in my bino harness, which I never go anywhere without, or it's in this top lid. I want to know that if I grab my top lid, that I got everything, that I'm good to go. I got spare bullets. I got my tags. I got a knife. I got just a little bit of all of it, right? And so it gets to be a little bit heavy, but what's great about the Initial Ascent frame is we've got these little ears on the frame. And if you take these slots that are in the top lid, it sits on the frame and it does not move. It holds that thing. It doesn't flop, holds it down and holds it down nice. And now it's got some little straps down here that accommodate the top lid, where you just like the other bag does. And now I've got my top lid cinched down. Like I said, I might have a little stuff sack inside here, and I might have a little bit a puffy or something inside this little pouch. I got my pockets, my hip pockets, and just put the load lifters back in. And I am ready to take off after that bear. And I didn't have to completely undo all the packing that I have done with my AK bag for my 10-day hunt. What are the odds I get on that bear? Hopefully good, but what if I get up there, we never relocate them, we just got to come back down and we got to get resuming back on the trail? Well, dude, I just throw that pack right back on this frame in a matter of minutes, and I didn't have to unload it, unpack it in any way whatsoever. So when I go on like a little day excursion, elk hunting, for example, in September, this is what I'm bringing with me, especially if it's steep mountainous country. Bringing this with me. And then what I do is, let's say we're going down the hill to where the elk are. I might ditch my frame, like I said before, because it's a little bit noisy. All frames are a little bit noisy, little straps and buckles and things like that. And I want to get real stealthy. That's when I'll just ditch that frame, maybe 200 yards from where the elk is. Get rid of that frame, and I'll take this top lid. I'll just hide this in the bushes, the frame, take this top lid, throw it over my shoulders. And now I'm ultra stealthy, and I'm getting into that, 20, 30 yard. I can run up and down the mountains, whatever. But if I'm 2 miles from base camp, my frame is only 200 or 300 yards from the final kill, not miles back. So I can just shimmy up the hill, grab my frame, throw my top lid back on it, carry a quarter back to camp. You just got to think ahead with all that kind of stuff. So I love the whole concept of it. It's just versatile. Gets the job done. It's like I said, it carries heavy. I did a couple of podcasts with the guys over at Initial Ascent, and they'll be dropping sometime this week. Check those out. We get into some of these discussions, but you know, the weight with these ears, guys have been carrying the whole rear quarter up right hanging off of this, and it puts the weight right over the center of gravity on your body. It's amazing. So that's just sort of, I guess, a high level, like just real quick rundown why I like this, how I use it, why it matters to me, you know. Anyway, I love this setup. So if you're interested, you can always head over to Initial Ascent, and if you use the code GRITTY, you will save. And I've been working with Initial Ascent for probably 4 years or so, maybe longer. And what I loved from the get-go was we just told them what we wanted, and they worked on it. Lampers and I would spend so many days in the field, and we would sit there and tell other manufacturers and builders kind of what we were getting out of the bag, what we'd like to see changed, and they just fell on deaf ears. And Joe and Dennis, they really listened to us. So the bag is a major improvement from where it started from. The frame was always good, but even now there's additions that I love. So anyway, I just want to thank all you guys for tuning in and listening to the show. I couldn't, without you, I wouldn't have this dream job, which it is, to be able to go and backpack and hunt and use gear and tell you guys about it. So I want to thank you because you make my job possible. Don't forget about our May 29th movie night. Get your tickets at briancall.com/events. All right, let me know what you think of the show in the comments below. I try to respond to every comment that hits the YouTube page as much as I can. Ask your questions there. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for tuning in and always supporting us. Stay gritty.